5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Funniest memory was one day Jeremy got really mad at our 8 and he threw his megaphone in the water. And then the day after we got him a waterproof megaphone so that would never happen again.
My most memorable moment was probably fall of junior year. There was this one practice where it started to rain. And for some reason I just started laughing, and my boatmate who was bowing at the time, she started to sing. And the next thing we knew, we were just belting Bob Marley's Could You Be Loved in the pouring rain, and I just was never so content.
Win at City's junior year, we got a gold. That was probably my favorite memory.
Is Stoats freshman year. With my freshman 8, we really wanted to win Stoats, and we didn't really know that much about crew, so we thought we were going to win, and we came 5th, and we were really upset, and a lot of people were crying because we were freshman girls, and Lorna said, "Girls, it's good that you're crying, it means you care, and I bet you'll all have Stoats medals one day," and now we all have 2, so.
State's freshman year, no one expected us to win, and we did, and we had a joke that we were called the mullet because we were business in the front, party in the back, and Rachel just screamed, "This is the greatest moment ever, I'm gonna mullify my hair." And she did.
Probably my favorite memory would be rowing with Ethan last year. It was probably like the first time that I really started to love crew.
Right after we won Stoats, we had gotten like our medals and our corsages, and we were so thrilled. And we rowed back to the dock and got off the dock, and we all put our boats down, and we all were just hugging and like crying and so happy. And I remember looking over at Lorna holding up this huge like medal or trophy.
Would have to be junior year when we won Cities in the JV8, and we finished about a length up, and we turned around and saw the girls' JV8 coming back through the bridge to get their medals, and neither of us knew that the other one had won. But when we both realized that we had won, like after all of the hard work we had gone through for the past 3 years, it was just a really great moment.
Cliche, but probably winning Stoatsbury, just because the season was so back and forth which boat we were in, and yeah, the JV8 we won Stoatsbury in was one of my favorite boats, and it was kind of like the culmination of all the hard work that we had done that year.
One time when I was in my double with Tyler Nedzi in the fall this year, I had just gotten the hang of bowing, so I was bowing, and the conditions were pretty rough, and there were lots of crews around us, so it was really difficult for me to steer. And I remember I was looking back, and I kept looking back to make sure I was going through the right arch in the bridge, and Ruben yelled at me and said, "Camilla, what are you doing?" And I looked at him and I said, "I'm trying to bow." And I don't know if Ruben heard me, but he gave me a weird look and he said, "What?" So I hope he didn't hear exactly what I said, but I really don't know. So sorry if you did hear, Ruben.
The seniors who we've been with the whole way, I think that's a huge part of, I don't know, they played a huge part in my growing up, especially in high school. So I'm definitely going to miss them and that like brotherhood we had.
Just the close-knit community, cheering at Stoats.
One of the things I'm going to miss the most is Ruben, because he really pushed me. And freshman year, I didn't really understand that. And I was like, why is he yelling at me? Why is he being so mean? I don't get it. But it wasn't really until the end of last year or the beginning of senior year that I really understood why he did it. And I'm going to miss having someone who really wants to see me succeed and really pushes me to the next level.
I think I'm going to miss the family that the crew team has most, because like it's such a great grouping of people and just a great group of friends to be with.
Most probably winning overall. Just like the exhilaration of racing, but then also I've met some of my best friends ever on this team and just like the family that it gives us, but also winning and having so many medals.
I think the people who I'm going to miss most are Jeremy, Julian, and Ruben.
I'll probably miss the people and the community the most because I came in as a sophomore, as a novice, and I didn't really know anyone on the team very well, but everyone was very accepting of me and they made me feel like part of the team almost instantly. And
I'll miss most the people on the team. It's a really great group of kids that I've grown really close to, that have become my best friends over the past 4 years. And just that little bit of camaraderie that we have between us that keep us together and allow us to go through all of the pain that we have to suffer to be one of the best crews on the water.
Pushing myself physically as an athlete, and I overcame it by really working hard and believing that I could do it, and then I became a lot better as an athlete.
Positions that I was put in that I wasn't too pleased about, but I never let it get to me because I knew there was always something else around the corner. Like that wasn't it. There's more to it. So like I couldn't let myself be upset with what was going on right then because I knew that there was like something better. Like everything happens for a reason. And I applied like that saying to anything that came across in a difficult situation for me.
Getting the drive to get to practice every day and give it your all. Like there are so many days where you don't want to do it, but you have to do it because everyone else is depending on you doing it. And if one guy's not doing it, then you might as well not come at all. So that's definitely the toughest part.
Like understanding the way the team works, because like not everyone's gonna win, and that's the hardest thing to understand, is that sometimes it's just not your year and you can try as hard as you can, but it's just not gonna happen. And I think that was one of the things that I really needed to learn, and I definitely did.
Probably junior year when we won the Stoats time trial and won the semifinal, and then we lost the final and came fourth. That was probably the most challenging thing we've faced.
Like how to stand up for myself and like to have thick skin and not take everything personally, and to really like use the criticism that people give me like constructively.
The most challenging thing I think being on the crew team, especially as a coxswain, would be when I was younger and I had to get into boats with upperclassmen, and I was always really nervous because I didn't know if I should correct them and if they were still going to like me and be my friend if I was correcting them. But I got over that fear, and everyone kind of said in that criticism like helps you.
Sticking with it. I mean, through all the schoolwork and the stress and the time commitment, I stuck with it, and it wasn't that bad.
Learning to deal with the pain of it, so learning to erg and allowing to go through the wall when you reach it, when your body tells you no, but your brain has to say yeah. So up until really this year, I was never able to get through that wall, but at some point I was able to figure out, just keep on going and you'll get what you need to get done.
Most challenging thing is Alex Zincani.
And how did you overcome it?
It hasn't quite been overcome yet.
I think I could say it in one word. Ian Barnes.
And how did you overcome it?
I didn't. Not yet, anyways.
I really didn't know what I was capable of until I joined crew. I thought that there was only a certain level of physical fitness that I could get to, and I doubted myself a lot in all areas before I joined crew. And when I realized that I could do things that I never thought I could do, it made me so much more confident in everything that I did. And it made me realize that once you set your mind on something, you can do it. It's just a matter of pushing yourself and taking the steps to get there.
What I've learned most from being on the team is definitely that you can always work harder and to work really hard, and it kind of in all aspects of my life, in school as well. Like I picked crew because I thought it would be an easy sport. I thought, like, you're sitting, it must be really easy, but that's really not the case.
Was that I can do a lot more than I thought I could do.
And learning that if I really set my mind to it and I really will myself to be something, that I can really become that thing. Like, I wasn't athletic to begin with, and now I'm a recruit to Lehigh. So
probably that you get what you give into it, and if you go at 75%, then you're going to get a 75% result.
I think I learned that I'm so much tougher than I actually am. And I don't think I really learned this until about 2 weeks ago, that I can really push myself so much harder than I thought I could, and that in every practice, you always have more to give than you think you do.
I think the most valuable thing I learned about myself is that I can take control of like really difficult situations when we're down in a race and I have to find a way to make us win, and when there's a bad practice, how to make it better. Just taking control of a situation and making it the best it can be.
I've learned my limits in what I can do as a person, like how hard I can work, those kind of limits.
I really learned how to work with other people and communicate, especially with my boat mates, and rowing with the same girls for 4 years has really taught me a lot about friendship.
I think probably the most valuable thing I learned about myself is learning how to push my limits and knowing that even when I was going my hardest, there was just a little more out there, and if I just tried a little harder, I could maybe go a second faster.
But on the crew team, you learn to work with people in a way that's like nothing else. Like you're literally and figuratively all in the same boat with the people that you're working with, and you learn a lot about teamwork, and it really not like you just learn to work with other people, and because you all work towards the same goal together, stroke for stroke, and that's really, it's powerful, because then win or lose, you're all in it together, and that's
time management, because now I can do that. I've learned how to manage my time wisely, and now I can do an obscene amount of homework in the small 3 hours that I have between practice and going to bed.
Anything's possible, and you have the potential to do things, but you don't realize unless you just try them out. And crew really helped me with that.
You really are capable of so much, and rowing forces you to dig as deep as you possibly can. And I think I've definitely taken that to other parts of my life, just in the classroom and with friends and relationships. And yeah, it's really taught me like so much. I'm really happy I've done it.
Always try to stay positive about everything, because the negativity won't help. And listen to the managers. We're just trying to help you.
I've learned a lot more about the sport being a manager. I didn't realize how many small details there were that went into making a regatta run smoothly. So I think being a manager and seeing it more from a coach's perspective, as in trying to get everyone out on the water on time and make sure they get caught. I didn't realize how much work and how on top of everything you have to be as a manager. So I got better at managing by being a manager.
Make friends with the other coxswains on the team, because like they're the only, like you are all in competition, but they are the only ones on the team that really understand your job. And
my advice to any incoming coxswains or any of the coxswains on the team would be perseverance and to not give up if something goes wrong. Like, let's say, I don't know, you hit a bridge or something, that's not the end of things, and you'll come back and you'll win more medals, and it's all gonna get better. So just persevere and never give up.
Take advantage of your time here because it goes by really quick, and enjoy every day and every race and every pasta party before it's over.
I don't know, as much as it's painful physically, because crew is a sport where you just have to push yourself, and you know, all those like rainy practices and crazy nights and getting home at 11, all of that was just part of the experience, and I really couldn't imagine high school without crew.
Definitely meet new people. Don't try and stick around the same people all 4 years. I mean, definitely keep your friendships, but also expand, meet new people, get to know them.
My season, my sophomore year, we weren't super successful, but then I did really well my junior year. So that just goes to show that one season where you're not super successful doesn't mean that you won't win medals on the team.
Is never give up. Like, I know it sounds cheesy and stuff, but it really applies to the team and what you may be going through, because yes, like, you may not like where you are right now, or you may not be happy with your surroundings, but it does get better if you try. Like, you have to always try, and if you do, you will be rewarded.
This is important advice. Load the trailer fast.
It's really important to think about what you're doing. I know, like, when I was younger, I would just row. I'd go through like the motions, and I wouldn't put like a lot of thought into each stroke. But now I've kind of begun to think more about like the things that I do when I'm taking a stroke, and I make sure that I'm like thinking about what the coaches have said.
Stick with it, definitely, because it's great in the end.
I think just don't throw up in the erg room. Just take it somewhere else, where everybody isn't.
Is just like really stick with it. I wanted to quit so many times. Everyone has, it's not like a shocker. But the thing that picks me up is just thinking about the community. Like, you'll really never find anything like it in your life. And
Myself.
I don't know what it was. It was like this like dead like nude colored like carcass, like that big, that was just like all puffy and like dead and like decaying, and it was gross.
I can't even describe it. It was this like shaved, hairless animal looking thing.
Was this animal that I still don't know what type of animal it was, but it was floating down the river, and I smelled it before I saw it, and it was
so gross. It was like just the skin floating by, and it was just so gross. But there have been a lot of really weird stuff. Like,
It was like a Burka lounger, and then like slightly downstream from the Burka lounger was like this old television set.
Just a chair, like a sofa chair, just floating in the water, and that was really entertaining. So.
Chicken, like, you know, like
thing that looks like a chicken, like a chicken.
well, one time we just launched and we saw the skin of a cat, and that just led to more questions about who was skinning cats nearby.
Everyone has always said the dead cat.
Geese are everywhere, and it's not an obscure thing to see in the Passaic River. But I've had some really close encounters with geese. I didn't know they were that big. They look really small from a distance. But
If I was going to use one word, I would have to say wavy.
Wild. it was a wild ride.
Wild, definitely wild.
Fast.
Amazing.
Good word. Growth. Okay, growth is a word that
is hard. I was going to say very hard, but that's 2 words.
Respect. RESPEK. Respect.
Uncertainty. Yeah.
An achievement. Certainly is.
I had a really fun time. I'd say fun. Definitely fun.
Unforgettable.
Loyalty.
Interesting.
Exciting. I think
Would be hard. Definitely. But worth it.
Interesting.
Just an experience.
Saying unequivocally, it was the best experience I've had in Montclair High School.
Probably meaningful, just because there's been so much growth, and I don't know, I don't want it to end. It's been such a fun 4 years.
Thank you, seniors, for a wonderful 4 years. We're going to miss you all, and we've grown to care about you over these last 4 years. We've seen you grow and mature, and we're going to miss every single one of you.